I don't want to set the world on fire. I better stop now before copyright takes this town.
Good morning, good afternoon,
Ah!
or good night, wherever you're tuning in from. This is the BS Buddies podcast. Thank you, Ian, which is one of the hosts here. I am Joe,
No,
one
no,
of the
no.
hosts here.
Don't thank me. Thank John Fallout here. He's excellent singing voice on him right there. It's quite wonderful. Well done, John Fallout. I'm gonna put him in the corner and have him look at me with those soulless eyes.
Now, Ian, what what are we talking about? Because you said it so cool before we started.
Well, today we have a question for you, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think you have what it takes to be John Fallout? That's right. Today we're going to be discussing The Wasteland. Now, see, we've talked a little bit about the show and some in depth about the games to touch over on that episode. You should go watch it. It's really cool. It's really fun. But today we are putting you in the Wasteland, and we
With
want to know
us.
what how would we survive? Now, first we'll kind of go through, we'll do a little back and forth about each character Joe and I would want to be as ourselves, and then we'll talk about surviving together as a group, and then at the end we can hear your feedback in the comments about how we would survive. What job do you want to have? And no, you can't be the food inspector, because that's my job. I'm the food inspector, and I sneak the food for myself, not you. All right, just clearing that up, just making sure we're all on the same page.
Yes. And if you're new here, please subscribe. We come out with 2 videos every week. Usually, we talk about some fun stuff like the times we got pulled over, the times we hit animals with our car accidentally, or we come up with different scenarios
Like bringing a Fushigi back to medieval Europe. Yes,
or an
we really
atomic
talked about
bomb,
that.
because that also got put in the same video.
An atomic bomb made out of gunpowder.
Yes. The
Oh, how funny. How funny.
comments love that short. Anyways, I'll start it out. So we're just gonna say kind of where we think we would fit in the Fallout universe, going from like the show or the games, whichever one you're more familiar with. And I'm gonna start out. I would love to be the ghoul, but I don't have that in me. At least
To become heavily irradiated and reliant on
more
not
more like a badass bounty hunter, serial killer, whatever he is. Um,
gunslinger.
yeah, I ain't no cowboy. So, honestly, I gotta say, I'm gonna be a vault dweller. Like,
You're gonna be a vault dweller, huh? You're gonna be life down in the vaults, underground.
I get nervous if I think I don't cook beef long enough by like 2 minutes. So I don't think I should be up at the surface worried about if water is irradiated or not. I
Oh, you'll
think,
be in luck. They got 200-year-old Salisbury steaks. They got enough preservatives in them to last another 200 years, and they got Nuka-Cola Quantum that's also has enough isotope and preservative in it to have a shelf life of like 1,000 years or something like that. So you'll
yeah,
be okay.
so I'm going to stay in the vault where it's relatively safe and hope I picked a good one that's not going to test me for weird things. Unless it's testing for anxiety, then I am the perfect candidate for your vault.
More than likely, they'll just put you in the one that they pump hallucinogenic drugs through the vents, and then you'll be left sitting there looking around corners going, "Did you see the Hat Man? He's down the hall, man." And then they'll be like, "Yeah, it's great. Get back in your room." Okay, go. Thanks. Close.
What's the difference between what I said and what you said?
Exactly. To the Voltec scientists, nothing.
Ian,
I
what would you be?
I think if I would want to be something in the Fallout universe, I want to be up on the surface because I just don't do well in enclosed spaces for a long period of time. Not that I'm claustrophobic in any way, but like I need some kind of stimuli other than gray walls to stare at. And I
That's
know
fair.
I know some people might say, "Oh, well, some of the vaults came equipped with this. Some of these came vaults that came equipped with this or that or the other." Yeah, those are usually the vaults where they were doing the hanky panky on the side when the scientists were like testing them and stuff. So no thanks. Any of them vaults that got any of them fancy gadgets usually spells out bad news in big bold letters for everybody inside that. So I'm gonna be up on the surface, and if I had to be honest, I could probably see myself becoming a caravaner. I would go around with my Brahmin selling odds and ends, but I would be one of those caravanners that handy with the steel, if you know what I'm saying. I'd maybe have a couple of armed guards with me, a little six shooter of my own. I would need something to defend myself because raiders always looking for easy pickings. But I think I could be a caravaner. I think that'd be a interesting way to do business because I've got a knack for collecting weird trinkets such as this, for example. I shouldn't say collecting. This was given to me as a gift. It's a very wonderful gift. If the guy who watches this, the guy I can't talk words. If the guy who gave me this watches this episode, it's a wonderful gift. But I mean, I've gotten loads of different goofy trinkets like that, so I could sell them for caps. I could turn a profit. It just got to make sure I'm armed. Carry a
I
mini nuke in my backpack for emergency detonation in case of emergencies.
I honestly thought you were gonna say Brotherhood of Steel, just with the whole military background, but you know,
It's
I respect it.
it's it's tempting. I mean, power armor definitely would be cool, but I mean, the Brotherhood of Steel is also very closed off to outsiders. They don't let a lot of outsiders in, and they are very isolationist. So they too are prone to the same, let's just go hide in a bunker out in the desert for the next 60 years because this didn't go the way we want it to. And I can't handle that. I got to be on the move. I need some open scenery, man. You can't put me underground, hidden away. No way, no how.
That's probably the safest place for me. Otherwise, I'll probably go mad. I think I'll go mad regardless, but at least I'm relatively safe. Hopefully.
Be a vert, be a vertibird pilot. There you go. You could be a vertibird pilot. Then at least you can fly away from things.
Yeah, me and heights. Yeah.
You go oh so well together.
Uh,
Now, if let's go with locations. Where would you want to be? Not necessarily like specific vault, but would you want to be on the East Coast? Would you want to be on the West Coast? Would you want to be in the Midwest?
I wanted to say I want to go to New Vegas, but if I can pick anywhere, I'd. This might be a little biased, but I'll get to what I mean. Um, I think I'd want to settle in the upper Midwest, like Minnesota. I mean, I'm familiar, but also all of the water there and purifying the water as best I can. Um,
Yeah,
then
that's a
just
smart
kind of
move right
go
there.
from there. Really,
See,
just
that's a smart move because I was gonna say the Midwest too because so as far as we know, right, the East Coast was hammered with nukes in the Fallout universe, and the West Coast was as well. And Vegas stayed relatively safe. Mr. House shot down a few of them, but the Midwest, not a big area to be targeted. I mean, granted, there was a few sporadic here and there according to Fallout lore, but I mean, yeah, for the most part, this area, at least the Midwest and probably like the central south part of America would be the quickest to recover because there wouldn't be as many nukes to detonate there. Now, as far as civilization, I have no idea. You might be living on your own like Paul Bunyan in a log cabin out in the forest praying the Yaogwai don't break down your front door every night. So there is that. But on the other hand, you probably have trees coming back and some clean water here and there. So there is that benefit too.
yeah. Like I don't I don't see it as excuse me. I don't see it as a big threat area and just the resources that would probably still be here and be intact. I'm sure there'd like you said I'm sure there'd be people who would go mad, but I feel like if I'm with you and we find guns, which, trust me, I know
Plenty.
1,000 people that have so many guns. I could just be like, hey, we're cool. Can I just have one gun?
Can I get
You
one of
don't
them,
even have to give
please?
me ammo.
I just want it for the intimidation factor.
That, or it's like, hey, I can get a gun. My buddy Ian is out getting ammo. Like, we're doing it separate, so there's no threat to you.
Joe's putting all of his points into his luck stat so that he can just point an empty pistol at an animal and it gets scared and runs away. Either that or you pull the hammer and it goes click and you're like, oh, and then like an anvil descends from on high like a Looney Tune and just crushes the character. You're like, wow, lucky me. Meanwhile, I'm over there going through containers like, oh my god, please let there be something in here. Oh my god, this is the 108th pack of cram I found. Look over and Joe's picking through like, hey, look, he had a fresh steak on him. God, I'm gonna beat him with a bat.
Yeah, I feel like your agility, I think that, like, that's aiming, right?
Yeah,
That's that.
I
Yours would
believe it is.
be skyrocketed, but then there's me, like, can't hit the broadside of a barn. But like you said, like, my luck is so high, like the barn just explodes from the inside regardless. It's
It
like,
go,
oh,
the bullet
sweet.
goes through. The bullet will go through this like Rube Goldberg of like ricocheting off different surfaces. Like you and I'd be standing there just, and then it finally like hits a chain and just drops a ship anchor or something. I don't know. It just drops something flat onto whatever creature's chasing us. And
Shoot
then
down
look
a
at you and be
vertibird with one.
like, drops it. No. It hit the one mole rat in the center of everything. It just hit the one mole rat and mush it and be like, well, that's remind me to never ever let you do anything else besides pull that trigger. My aiming doesn't matter for squat. I'll just give you one bullet at a time and you can solve all of our problems.
It's like,
I,
oh, look, a death claw running straight for us. And like, I'm panicking, but you're like, dude, you have full luck. And it
you
just
got
gets
10
stuck in quicksand before it gets to us.
just pull the trigger. You pull it, it like breaks its toe and face plants into quicksand and gets sucked right in. See, I told you, man, you got 10. There's a vertibird flying away in the distance. Maybe it's full of raiders or something. Maybe some raiders got a hold of an old vertibird who got it working. Hey, Joe, I need you to take down that vertibird. How am I supposed to do that? Okay, luck can't solve every problem. You just point your arm in the air, pull the trigger, and then like 30 seconds later, you see like a random bird go spiraling into the vertibird and takes out the motor, and the thing goes spinning to the ground.
Yeah, you're like, take that out, that vertibird. I just look at you. Oh, okay, fine, and just finger gun. Pew. It's like, what? And then it's just like, yeah, just.
Oh my god!
I
It's like,
feel
wow.
like I would have lower intelligence. Like, I feel like we have reverse stats. Like, I feel like my
Inverted.
charisma would be high, but my speech would not quite be there. It's like, I'm
You'd have the
outgoing
low
and I want to
intellect,
talk
high
our
charisma build.
I want to talk our way out of situations, but I just fumble over my speech. But my luck recovers and it works.
Like we're sitting there, like Raiders have got us held up or something. You got your hands up, and you're like, guys, look, listen, I don't know how to tell you this, but if you don't let us go right this second, I'm getting a phone call. Take a second. Guys, if you don't let us
I
go
would
right
do
this
that too.
excuse me, I'm getting a phone call. And then like they're sitting there, the Raiders are like looking at each other like, what? Like, okay, sorry about that. Doesn't matter. Wrong number. Anyways, if you don't let us go right now, a Yao a Yao Death Claw Bear Y is gonna come out of the woods and eat you, and they're like, is that the best you got? And then, like right at that moment, you just see the worst mutated creature you've ever seen in your life comes like flopping out of the woods, and you're like, how did that work? And I'm like, who cares? Run! And we're booking
And
it.
it gets the Raiders, and we glance back, and it just smashes the phone. It's because someone called the phone. It got triggered by that.
The phone is what activated it. It got pissed off because it could like sense the radio waves or something. Oh wow,
Oh,
look at that. That mysterious creature looks like it has a radio antenna sticking out of its head. I wonder if that's what activated your phone. Genius. And then you like hit the call button and you like watch the thing spaz out or something and it's like, "Oh yeah, that was the case." It'd be like oh, or the raiders would go to shoot at you and they'd pull the trigger and it just click. What? How is this thing jammed? Just like super lucky. And you like throw a pencil and it sticks in the barrel. I'm Batman. Who's Batman? Don't worry about it.
I just love going back and forth on this. Like, if you have 10 luck in Fallout, it's just the stupidest things can happen.
That's what our. Well, you know what? Okay, here's the thing for all of you out there. We're gonna make a survivor camp. Our survivor camp is only luck builds. You have to have full luck to join our survivors camp. That is the one condition.
You have
And if you
full
don't know,
charisma and full speech, and you just have a bunch of imbeciles who are just really lucky.
what? Oh yeah, kid. What are you gonna threaten us with? I have an army of incompetent morons who are extremely lucky. Did he just say? And you just watch a bunch of idiots come tumbling out of the doors,
And then one's
shooting
like,
firearms in any random direction except where they're at, but somehow absolute chaos is ensuing in the meantime.
it's just like just one person out of like the 1,000 raises their fist, like, yeah, and then a vertebrate falls randomly.
Yeah! When it just goes, what happened?
Oh.
And you have the leader is standing at the top. Never underestimate the sheer luck of a chronic dumbass. And then everybody goes running out the doors. What is happening right now? They're throwing spears, but somehow the spears are like hitting the weapon mag perfectly and like ejecting their magazines. They're like, I don't know what's going on right now.
And then we got to go even further. We have one person that's a strength build. Like, he's just super strong, like the dumb jock type build. And we're trying to give him instructions like, hit that guy. And it's like, I just shove him. He flies and just takes out 5 of the raiders or whoever.
You like push him forward and he like falls and stumbles against I don't know somebody's has like a blade and he like falls against it and it, like pokes him in the arm and he just looks at him all mad and he's like oh god and then he just goes to town. You pushed him into the knife but he goes to town on him.
I can
That
imagine having like Debbie or Jocelyn with us as well, and like they have like higher intelligence and they're trying to hack something, and they just can't figure it out because it's like expert. And you're like, can't figure it out, and I'm like, oh, let me try, and I hit a few buttons, and it's like access granted.
you know it's like you walk over there and they're sitting there trying to hack it over and over. It's not working, it's not working, it's not working. You walk over, think I saw this in a movie once. Whack, 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 whack. But you just start whacking the keys and then it lets you in. You're like, see, system override. You just got to give her the old whackety whack, and there you go, and you're in.
Oh.
You're trying to grow like food. You get like half a rotten apple or something, and it's like, oh, what are you guys doing? We're planting. We're gonna grow fruits that we have something to eat. And it's like, you got half a rotten apple there. That's not going to grow anything. Yeah, we'll watch. You plant it in there. Whatever. Come out the next day. There's an apple tree growing, and you're like, what? How in the world? What even? You see people planting you're planting nuts and bolts, right? Like screws, steel, machinery. Yeah, I figured we could get like a machinery tree so that we can grow some screws and make some repairs on our wall. Okay, the fruit I could understand, but you realize that you can't grow steel and bolt trees, right? Well, we might as well try. You know
Machine
what?
gun sprouts.
Go for it, champion. Like, the next day, a 240 Bravo pops out of the ground. Oh my god. And then that's just sitting there, wait a minute, that gives me an idea. And I look over at the stockpile of ammunition in the corner. Man, this luck build defies the laws of physics. This is amazing. It's like, oh yeah, it's great. Hey, you want to go pick some of the 9mm tree? I got the 5.56 vines over here. It's like scraping bullets off of a vine.
I don't think we went with the technical thing what we were originally intending, but this is a
Oh
lot
no,
more fun.
we went way off track. I also have to point out that none of this exists in the Fallout universe, but this is a lot more fun to imagine if it did.
Uh,
I want to get no, you'd get one of them the 10 luck build. That would give you one of them baseball bats where like you hit them and if they just go flying. Like your melee weapon is like, "All right, I'm going to hit him in the knees." Crack, and then he just goes skittering across the ground and you hear like this distant or like a crowd cheering for a home run and you're like, "Huh. That was fun. Let's do it again."
uh, we went a little off topic, but I mean, that was a lot of fun.
That's
If you have a
okay, that's
10 luck build, and if you don't understand it in the games, like your special abilities, you can change it, and luck is one of them. And stupid things can happen in the games if you max it out. But
Let us know some of your special builds, as we call them in Fallout. Your point distributions. Let us know what sort of builds you would want to bring to our survivors camp. What job would you do? How would you do it? How would you provide to the overall well-being? So that way, we maybe have more than a chance of just a bunch of bumbling morons who get really lucky stumbling out of a gate.
we got Ian. Excuse me. We got Ian with full agility and me with full luck. We
I
got
can at least I can at least be really quick on my feet and I can trade and get us some caps with my caravan. That's it. I can't do nothing else for you.
me. I don't got much going for me, but I am lucky.
Very lucky. Can't say a full sentence to save your life, but you're lucky.
Yes. But I think with that, we'll go with quotes. And if you
Hey,
guys have any other special abilities that you want us to talk out, I'd love to do this again. Just post it down below. Do
let us
do
know
your
what you
skill
got.
tree, and we'll add you.
This would be me tweaking out, trying to get everybody back into the camp after releasing all the idiots to go fight the battle for it. Come on, get back in!
When you
Making
take
my
3
camera have a,
jets and 5 psychos,
making my
waiting for
camera
the
have a.
idiots to get back.
I need something to pass the time. Oh,
Ah,
John Fallout. Stand still, please. Thank you. Compose yourself. All
time
right,
for
you
quotes.
first for quotes, because I gotta look at which one I'm gonna choose.
Mine is believe and act as if it were impossible to fail. Charles Kettery.
Aw,
Me
see
and
that
my
one
lucky people. It is impossible for us not to
be
knock down a vertibird doing absolutely nothing.
by shooting finger guns into the sky. See, and mine kind of fits with our theme too. The road to success and the road to failure are almost exactly the same. So none of you out there try and tell me I'm wrong with my ideas. There is a chance for success. You're telling me there's a chance. And I'm going to take it and run with it for all I can get out.
Other than that, thank you for BSing with us today. Subscribe or follow to become a bud today. Comment down below what your favorite part of the episode was. What would you do in a Fallout situation? What skill, stat, special thing would you use? But
Nope. No being a death claw. We're not letting any death claws
no
into the
death
camp.
claw.
It's not happening.
But we'll see you next time when Ian shoots a mole rat in one shot, and I do too, somehow.
just his bullet takes 15 different paths to get to where it's going. Curves a little bit.
Yep.
But just remember, BS. The BS never changes. Take her easy now.